Over the Grateful Dead's career, there's been many songs that tell stories, yet there's one that stands out to me as their most vivid. It's the Bob Weir and Robert Hunter penned track, Jack Straw. It made its first appearance at the Northrop Auditorium on October 19, 1971, and since then has become a staple of the Dead's catalog. In some ways, it seems like the ultimate Dead song. It touches on a lot of what makes this band so special, and while we can point to a lot of other tracks as a great introduction to their music, I think Jack Straw carries those aspects in a subtle but compelling way. In my opinion, it's a real contender for the greatest song ever written, at least by the Dead. With that in mind, let's fully explore the Dead's classic piece, Jack Straw. The song opens on two characters talking to each other while walking to an unknown destination. These two people, named Jack Straw and Shannon, are trying to find a place to live where they could have anything they could ever want. Turns out they're also pretty much broke, but regardless of that, they want to find their paradise. We don't know much about them, but we're about to learn who they are morally.
I just jumped the watchman right outside the fence. Took his rings for bucks and change. Ain't that heaven sent? Hurts my ears to listen, Shannon burns my eyes to see. Cut down a nanny gold, but Shannon might as well be me.
The intensity increases at this point as we hear Shannon, portrayed by Jerry Garcia, talk about the dead watchman's valuables. These things, the rings and money, seem like a blessing to him. Yet Jack Straw, portrayed by Bob Weir, reasonably sees the murder as a huge issue. The watchman's death has put both Jack and Shannon's lives in jeopardy as they're both part of the crime and will most likely be executed for it. He then reminisces on the past a bit. Before they used to gamble and take chances for fun, but now it's turned into a life or death situation. Their future is entirely dependent on luck, and Jack knows that it'll inevitably end in disaster. Like the roll of a dice, they have no control over the outcome. Fate is left to decide the future of these two.
Leaving Texas, 4th day of July. Sun so hot, the clouds so low, the eagles fill the sky. Catch the Detroit lightning out of Santa Fe. The Great Northern out and shining from sea to shining sea.
The anxieties of their life wind down a bit as Jack and Shannon leave Texas into the wilderness by train. It's here where they're surrounded by the beauty of the American West. For this small moment, they escape their dilemma and find a bit of time to relax. The Dead have always surrounded themselves with American imagery. Whether it was their covers of songs like El Paso or their original tunes like Cumberland Blues, there's always been a tie to the country, more so the tales of cowboys, outlaws, and working-class Americans. Jack Straw does have those elements, but the Dead also paint a picture of the land they're in, and it's beautiful. The song pulls you into Jack and Shannon's journey, and for this one moment you feel like you're taking it in alongside them. But these moments don't last long as Shannon's intentions start to creep back in. He mentions that they have to go to Tulsa to settle an old score. Jack, as mentioned previously, knows that this very lifestyle is causing them harm and is ultimately distracting them from their intended goal.
There ain't a place a man can hide, Shannon. We'll keep him from the sun. Ain't a bed can't give us rest now. You keep us on the run.
The magnitude gradually picks up like a train leaving the station as Garcia goes into a solo, and it leads us to a pivotal moment in the story.
Jack Straw from Wichita cut his money down. And dug for him a shallow grave and laid his body down. Half a mile from Tucson by the morning light. One man gone and another to go. My old buddy, you're moving much too slow.
It's here where things get muddy as we transition from the viewpoint of Jack to a narrator who doesn't really explain what happened. The fate of Shannon is left for us to interpret through the song's vague but powerful lyrics. From the words "cut his buddy down," it seems that Shannon is caught and hanged for his crimes, then Jack comes along and buries him. It's a pretty understandable ending, however it's not the only time someone is cut down. Jack Straw uses that phrase when talking to Shannon about the watchman he killed. To cut a man down is to kill him, so does that mean Jack Straw killed Shannon? Considering the issues he had with Shannon's violent way of living, it's entirely a possibility. It also might have been a way to distance himself from the murder. It's one less witness he has to worry about. After that revelation, the intensity decreases, and we're back where we started, Jack and Shannon's dream.
We can share the women, we can share the wine.
Jack Straw isn't a sprawling epic of a song. It's certainly not a Terrapin Station or Dark Star, but it definitely shows the storytelling power of the band. In the 4 to 10 minutes this song takes to perform, the Dead give us a captivating and unforgettable story with many great aspects. Of course there's the tale itself, two people on a journey to live a hedonistic life who end up stumbling into something more foul. But the plot doesn't work alone, it's paired with certain themes. Fate and chance are a huge part of this song, same with the country they live in, and it all comes together to make a complete picture. Then there's the music that conveys these ideas in a way you can feel. Whether it's the traded vocal lines for characters or the accentuated instrumentation that tells the story without any words, there's a lot to admire. That's not even going into the improvisational skills of the band, especially Jerry Garcia, who's given 2 solos. Jack Straw is one that doesn't get old for me. It's one that I return to a lot for all of those reasons. While not as famous as Truckin' or Touch of Grey, I think Jack Straw is a masterclass in what the Dead do, and it's one of the many songs by the band that connects with people, even 50 years after its debut.